What's happening, everybody? Hello and welcome back to Total Blast, where we discuss about everything Marvel and the MCU. While we're all busy breaking down trailers and talking about the release dates of all the upcoming projects revealed at D23, we're also trying to figure out the fate of some of the most anticipated projects that were not announced. This past week, we speculated about some upcoming projects, their release date, and how they will all come together, although we didn't get reveals at D23. We talked about Shang-Chi 2 and Deadpool 3, and even Spider-Man 4. Although the news were not officially confirmed, they were backed up by some pretty big insider reports, and you will agree with me that most of the time, these reports are often true. Now, how would you like to win a brand new PlayStation 5 on this channel? More on how to win at the end of this video. If this is your first time, please subscribe and enable the post notification bell so you don't miss out on subsequent videos. Now, we have a lot of projects that have long been expected, but we don't have an official announcement yet, and one of those projects is the X-Men. For the records, Disney officially acquired 20th Century Fox and renamed it 20th Century Studios. Disney and Marvel Studios now have the exclusive film rights to the world of the X-Men and more, including the upcoming Deadpool 3 starring Ryan Reynolds. Like I said earlier, we recently talked about the release dates for Deadpool 3, which is already under production, and we even noted that Deadpool could even introduce the X-Men because Kevin Feige stated that the movie is not coming as a standalone movie, since it interacted with the X-Men in the first two Deadpool movies. Deadpool 3 could introduce the X-Men, but we will talk more about this in a bit. Now, in 2019 San Diego Comic-Con, the last thing Kevin Feige said that was we didn't have enough time to talk about the mutants and the Fantastic Four. We then assumed that this year's San Diego Comic-Con, he would talk about the mutants and the X-Men. However, he still didn't talk about it, and we were also disappointed at D23 where we expected to get all of these updates. He also didn't talk about the mutants at D23. Rather, he only spoke about the Fantastic Four director, who happens to be Matt Shakman. The introduction of the X-Men in the MCU has been one topic that has been up for a very long time now. We even argued on this channel that the X-Men are probably already in the MCU. The X-Men has been teased for a very long time too. We saw an X-Men Easter egg in She-Hulk episode 2. The Cyclops was also teased in the latest episode of She-Hulk and in the post-credit sketch where we saw Pog looking at a bunch of different shoes, and we saw some shoes also designed for a few X-Men, including Cyclops, Wolverine, and the Beast. Kamala Kahn is the first mutant to be introduced into the MCU, and we'll sure be getting another one come November 11th when Black Panther Wakanda Forever will be released. Namor will be making a debut as the second mutant in the MCU in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Now, one thing is certain, we'll be getting an X-Men movie soon and probably before Secret Wars. In this video, we'll be talking about how the X-Men will be introduced into the MCU and also the X-Men team and even the origin story that the MCU will attach to the X-Men. In our previous video, we talked about how the X-Men could probably make an appearance in She-Hulk. She-Hulk has been introducing a lot of characters and have even teased the Wolverine in the second episode. Now, the X-Men team could be introduced one at a time, just like how they were introduced in the origin of the X-Men. As of this moment, it looks as though the X-Men are already in the MCU, but it will keep popping up in different projects before getting a solo movie. The X-Men characters will begin by identifying their powers first before coming together. For example, the Wolverine was teased in the second episode of She-Hulk. It seems as though he isn't an X-Men yet because the article reads, "A man with metal fist." He has not been identified as a mutant yet. Now, talking about Wolverine. We argued before in this channel about the origin story of what Wolverine would look like. Initially, he had no origin story, but recently, there are origin stories attached to him. We have one from the comics, and the other one is connected to Captain America Super Soldier Serum. It is important to note that Marvel always decides when they would want to stick to a story for a character from the comics or when they want to change the story entirely. In the comics, James Owlett, better known as Logan aka Wolverine, has a well-established comic book origin. Now, according to the origin story, Wolverine was born as James Owlett in northern Alberta, Canada, purportedly to a rich farmer owner, John and Elizabeth Owlett, although is actually the illegitimate son of the Howlett's groundskeeper, Thomas Logan. James' mutant abilities were triggered when his father was shot by the Owlett groundskeeper, Thomas Logan, whom he did not know was his real father. James killed Logan, slashed the face of Logan's son and his friend Dog, and left Alberta with a childhood friend, Rose O'Hara. The second origin story is called Weapon X. This Wolverine and Weapon X program has a direct connection to Wade Wilson, aka Deadpool. Now, Weapon X was a codename for a secret US government project intended to deliberately induce superhumans for military purposes. It was the 10th installment of the Weapon Plus program. In the case of Weapon X, the mechanism was genetic engineering, specifically creating mutations in normal humans and enhancing pre-existing mutations. The Weapon X agents captured Logan, who was a former member of the CIA under the codename Wolverine. However, Logan escaped the Department K facility where Weapon X scientists were experimenting on him. After Wolverine escaped, Canada Department K found a way to replicate Wolverine's healing factor and used it on a subject who has suffered from cancer. This subject name is Wade Wilson, aka Deadpool. One thing about Marvel is that they will definitely have a way to connect everything together. Now, another way I think the X-Men will be introduced into the MCU, or rather, another movie that would introduce the X-Men is Deadpool. Deadpool 1 and 2 tease some of the X-Men's characters, including Negasonic, Teenage Warhead, Colossals, Beasts, Cyclops, etc. Now, if the Weapon X origin story is what Marvel is sticking with, we will sure be getting a strong connection between X-Men and Deadpool. It is important to note that we have quite a number of other upcoming projects that might also introduce the X-Men. One particular movie is Secret Invasion. Now, we didn't get a direct X-Men teaser in the trailer of Secret Invasion, but I think Marvel might probably even introduce one X-Men character. Now, like we said in our previous video, Secret Invasion will pick up from where Captain Marvel stopped, where we first saw the Skrulls. The Skrulls are shapeshifters who can transform into anybody. According to new footage released at D23, Nick Fury came to inform the members of S.H.I.E.L.D. that a new and dangerous faction of Skrulls had infiltrated the Earth and the government, and probably even some of the superheroes. Now, we have an X-Men character who has a similar power like the Skrulls. This person is Mystique. Mystique is a mutant shapeshifter with the ability to change appearance and thereby assume the form of every other human being. She can also alter her voice to duplicate exactly that of another person. The Skrulls and Mystique have similar powers, and it's a unique way for her to make a debut in the MCU with the Secret Invasion movie. She could even work for Nick Fury and infiltrate the Skrulls. Now, we have previously speculated the possibilities of seeing Storm in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. One will be wondering the connection between Storm and Wakanda. Marvel is definitely an expert in creating connections. For those of you who've read the comics, you know that Storm's origin story has been retconned, but Marvel does consider a retcon story to be an actual origin story. In this story, she's 12 years old and she's rescued by T'Challa. The two of them quickly fall in love with each other and eventually they get married. So yes, the mutant Storm does become the Queen of Wakanda, and her story is actually really cool. She has to decide between being the Queen of Wakanda and an X-Men. However, she says no, I won't decide. I will do both. Since T'Challa is dead, that story can't go this way anymore. The MCU could simply say that they had a relationship before T'Challa was with Nakia. Maybe they could even say that they were indeed married before he got a divorce, and they could simply say that they were just friends, which will call for her coming to T'Challa's funeral. So, we can never tell. Since the X-Men are now in the MCU, we could get a Storm cameo in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. This is sure getting interesting. The different plot stories and way the MCU could introduce the X-Men are boundless. Now, it's important to note that Marvel is already making moves and preparations for the X-Men team. We reported earlier that Taron Egerton said that he is in talks with Marvel Studios about playing Cyclops, but he turned it down because he wasn't ready to play a long-term character. It is also important to point out that he also said that he was met 4 years ago about this deal. Initially, there were rumors that Marvel cannot recast the Fox X-Men cast, so they were looking for new cast. If they met Egerton 4 years ago, which means in 2018 to be precise, it means a lot of preparations are already in place for the X-Men team. Also, there have also been a lot of fan casting for Giancarlo Esposito. It was heard saying publicly that he would want to play Professor X, although it wasn't officially confirmed. This kind of proves that Marvel is getting ready for the X-Men team, and they might even get featured in Secret Wars. Back to our giveaway. So how would you like to win a brand new PlayStation 5? Here's how to win. So one lucky subscriber will be chosen from the comment section to win a brand new PlayStation 5 once we hit 1,000 subscribers. This is all you have to do. Subscribe, turn on your post notification, like our videos, comment, and share the link. One lucky subscriber will be chosen from the comment section to win our brand new PlayStation 5. Also, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who has supported us and brought us this far. So, what are your thoughts on this video? What of the X-Men characters are you anticipating to see? Please, don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Subscribe and turn on the post notifications so you don't miss out on any of our latest Marvel news. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I hope to see you in the next one!